That was Great White on FM 94. Yep, you're listening to Paladin here on KFML. That was the high volume hair ballad of the day. Very exciting to get to play at least one hair ballad per day, Monday through Friday, roughly in the 5 o'clock hour, just after news and weather, around 5:05, 5:06 approximately, usually. So that's cool. Now, I played Great White because I have something kind of special scheduled for Mark Kendall in Great White. He's supposed to be on the phone today. In fact, I've got his number right here.
Hello?
Hello, is this Mark Kendall?
This is Mark Kendall.
Awesome. Mark Kendall of Great White. How very exciting to have you on board, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is it safe to announce the reason for our call now, the album and the single? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. The new album, Full Circle, the first single I'll have the pleasure of playing today after the interview here, which is Big Time. Tell me about how that album came together.
It came together when we talked about making a record a while ago, but I had met Michael Wagner on the cruise, and I was actually kind of excited just to say hi to him. I had no intention or plan to work with him or anything. I hadn't even thought of that. And he had come watch us play, and then later on in the cruise, he had this question and answer thing, and I wanted to go and just ask a couple questions that I already knew the answers to, because in case he didn't speak about it, and that was part of his creativity in the studio, creating sounds, because he never used sound effects records. He always did things by creating the sounds himself, and I always thought that was really intriguing. I kind of wanted him kind of coax that out of him to tell the audience about some things. And then I had met him one more time on the cruise, and when we said our goodbyes or whatever, I was walking away, and he goes, hey, man, why don't we do something again together? And I was kind of like shocked in a way, and I'm going, really? That'd be amazing, And so we just kept in touch over the next few months, and then it started to become a reality. And so we worked on songs, not very much. I mean, like literally probably 8 days total. So the last 4 days we got really serious with the arrangements and stuff, but we didn't have all the lyrics when we went to Nashville. And so we kind of had to write in the studio a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And
we hired a production company called Rockslide Media to film the whole process. We wanted to kind of document. Our thinking was, I think it would be cool if the fans, for once, could see a little behind the scenes of how we make records.
Uh-huh.
And, the whole process of the songs, watching them grow and develop or whatever. So literally for 2 months, the cameras were rolling, It was a real good crew. They stayed out of our way, and they did a really good job editing it all together, because we want to include it with the release. So, but yeah, working with Michael Wagner was just pure blessing. He's a legend, and he has a great personality. He's easy to. He makes you feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
when you're recording, and he gets the maximum out of everybody's performances, and it went fairly smooth. I mean, we're all thrilled with the production, and everything turned out great. He loves the album, and so it was a great experience being back with him.
Very cool. Well, I've got a question now. Pardon my ignorance here, but the lineup of Great White has changed over the years. Have you been with them since the beginning?
Yeah, well, 3 of us have been in the band for like 100 years.
Uh-huh.
literally 100 years. So the core songwriting team of Michael Lardy and myself. Michael's been in the band since '85, and he's co-written almost every song. And in our heyday, our manager wrote all our lyrics, probably 95% of the lyrics. So really, the bass players, for some reason, over the years, just all of a sudden they just either quit showing up or, they quit or something. I don't know why. It's just, So we have replaced the bass players a couple times. And 7 years ago, we parted ways with Jack Russell. So we've had Terry Luce, who used to be in XYZ in the band for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. I got a chance to interview him about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is our third record with Terry. We did one studio album and one live album, and this will be the second studio album.
Mm-hmm.
And he just killed it on this record. His performances were amazing, and we just had a blast making this record. We're real excited about it.
Very cool. This may be a sensitive subject. I'm wondering if you could explain to me what happened with Jack Russell.
Well, he has demons, and it got to where he couldn't even walk anymore. He's just on a stool and stuff, and then, he was just struggling. I work with addicts on a daily basis, so I know that some really have a difficult time, and he was having a rough time, and so we told him to go, get well, and, we'll just use, fill-in singers or whatever, and then come back, well or whatever, and the next thing we heard a year later, he still wasn't doing so good. So, and then the next thing we heard was he was making his own band, and then the next thing was he tried to sue us for the name. you know. So, it's all good. He's going with his band, and we're really happy. We love our new record, and we've all just kind of moved on from all that, all the lawsuit stuff. He can be Jack Russell's Great White, I guess, and or whatever, and we're just, we changed singers. We're, we have the name, and we have the new album. We got the big producer. We're thrilled with it. I mean, you're talking about an iconic producer. I mean, the guy that's in Metallica, Alice Cooper. I mean, all the biggest bands from our era. Ozzy. I mean, it's just endless with Wagner. And, there's something to say about 98 million records sold in his career. I mean, you walk into a studio and you're just like glistened, with all these platinum records everywhere. Man, it's just sick. And so I don't know what to say about all that,
Well, no, that was quite sufficient. I just didn't honestly know. When I talked to Terry, he mentioned that Jack had gotten sick, and then I noticed somewhere else that Jack Russell's Great White was floating around. I had no idea what the story was. So.
Yeah. Well, we wanted him to have a way to make a living, and just being, himself out there would be really a big struggle. So we leased him away so he could, call his band Jack Russell's Great White or whatever, as long as his name was prominent, to where people know what they're going to go look at. And that's all we were concerned with, just so they know what they're going to see. So it's all good. We're happy. He's happy. So it's all good,
Super, man. All right, well, one more time. I was prohibited from making any announcement till today, but today is the official day.
Yeah.
The official day of the release.
The reason for that is we promised Eddie Trunk that for the exclusive yesterday. So now, the gloves are off and we're going crazy.
Thanks, Mark. That's all the time we have for today, but I do intend to come back to this interview and continue it tomorrow. So we'll record the rest off air and broadcast the second half tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock here on FM 94. But first, the album's Full Circle. You can pre-order very soon, and it's available through the website. You can get a special package with a making of DVD, including you can even order it on vinyl. So that's all available for you. So I'm going to play the first single, which is called Big Time, from the new album Full Circle, right here on FM 94.